what if I told you that changing just 1% of your budget could actually transform your financial future? Stick around, because what I'm about to show you is a simple trick that can actually help you become a much better steward of your finances. Hey guys, it's Jay. Today we're diving into a game-changing budgeting strategy that is as simple as it is powerful. We're talking about the 1% trick. It's a method that can actually revolutionize your finances without turning your life upside down. If you don't want to give up your Starbucks cup of coffee, you don't have to with this. Hey guys, so I just got back from North Carolina, where I had the privilege to go out and help a lot of the homeowners that got hit by Hurricane Helene. And if you want more details on that, on how we helped, what we did, you want to see some pictures and videos, head over to the community tab. I published something there a couple days ago, and you should be able to check it out. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jay, 1% sounds pretty tiny. How is that going to make any difference? Well, let me tell you. It's all about the power of small, consistent changes. I'm sure by now, somewhere on Instagram, X, I keep wanting to call it Twitter, you have seen something about atomic habits, where 1% compounded over a certain period of time can make a substantial difference. Here's how it works. You take your current budget, reduce your spending in each category by just 1%. Redirect that 1% to your savings or investing or debt payments based on what your needs are. So let me give you an actual real life scenario. Let's break this down and say you're spending $500 a month on groceries. Well, with a 1% trick, you'd aim to spend, for those of you that are great at math, $495 instead. It's only a difference of $5, the cost of your fancy latte, again, at Starbucks. But here's where it gets exciting. Let's say your total monthly budget is around $3,000 and you apply this reduction across every category, you'll free up roughly $30 a month. That's $360 a year. Now, I know, $360, that is not gonna do anything to change your life. But hold on, because here is where something magical happens. If you actually invest that $360, assuming an average market return of roughly 8%, you'd actually end up with over $32,000. Now, of course, that's the power of compound interest, and Proverbs 13:11 tells us that this honest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little or slowly makes it grow. Here's a real kicker. This isn't just about money. It's about becoming a more intentional steward of what God has blessed us with. It's cultivating discipline and wisdom in our finances. And I'm gonna give you some expert advice. If you can do 1% per month, so you're spending 100% in January, and then in February you're at 99, 98, 97, so on and so forth, the difference is drastic. So how do we put that into practice? Here are some practical tips. Review your budget, review each single category. Look at the areas where you can easily trim 1%. And if we're really talking honestly, you can trim 1% just about anywhere. Let's talk, for instance, streaming and subscriptions. In the US, a standard Netflix plan is about $15.49 per month. I remember when that was like $6, $7. Talk about inflation.
Sad.
Amazon Prime, it's around another $15 per month. Right there, you're looking at 30. Your 1% reduction here would be roughly 30 cents. But although that's almost nothing, and how do you cancel your Netflix subscription, right, or Prime? I mean, if you cancel it for 1 month, you're done. And you could also share with a plan with a sibling or a friend, or you can actually take that time and go read and do something probably more productive if you wanted to, right? But consider rotating the subscription. So use Netflix for a couple of months and then you switch back to Amazon. You're always gonna have something to watch, but at half the cost. The other thing you can do is set up automatic transfers. I remember a long time ago, there was a app called Acorns. It was an incredible app that would take however much money you spent. So if you spent, $18.96, you could set it up where it's rounding it to the closest dollar. So from 18 cents, it would be 19. So it would put those 2 pennies to work, or the next nearest round number. So from 18, it would take it up to 20. Take that difference and invest it. You could essentially pick, by the way, this is not a paid sponsor by Acorns unless they want it to be.
I could see us collaborating.
But I enjoyed the app greatly, and that was one of the ways that I started investing myself, was actually through Acorns. Once my fund got fairly large, I wanted to do more sophisticated things with it, so I had to move it out of that. From Acorn, I actually went to Robinhood. From Robinhood, I've been on M1 Finance, and I've been on M1 for a while. It's fairly sophisticated, but still very simple to use. But if you identified where your 1% saving is going to be, set up an automatic transfer to your saving or your investment account. And again, let's assume you found $30 in monthly savings. Set up an automatic transfer of $30 into an emergency account. Once that's funded, it goes into a savings account, a secondary savings account. Once that's done, then you can put it into your brokerage account. And of course, if you get paid bi-weekly, you can easily set up 2 transfers. The key is to make it automatic. Okay, so like I mentioned, one way that you can superpower this is if you invest 1%, which you take that money out of your budget, you save it in month 1. In month 2, you're able to do 2%, so you double that. All the way up until month 12, so you're taking away 12% of whatever you're spending, and you're putting that towards investing. The first year, you would actually invest roughly $2,411. So if each month you're able to reduce your expenses by 12%, so you spend $1,000, assume per year, you're able to reduce that by 12% at the end of the year and put it towards investing. At the end of year 1, you would have $2,411. By the end of year 3, you would have roughly $12,000 invested. And by the time you retire, you'd have almost $500,000 just by taking this 1% trick. Show me the money! Track your progress, of course, and use a budgeting app or a spreadsheet to monitor that 1%. Some top-rated budgeting apps obviously include Mint, which is great for overall finances, and it's free. Why you need a budget actually, is excellent for zero-based budgeting, and it costs about $100 per year. Every Dollar, which is created by Dave Ramsey and his team, they have a free version. The paid version is actually $129. I personally prefer to use Rocket Money. It costs me about $4 or $5 per month, but it does a lot of automation sequences. I mean, it's incredible. I love it. The important rule is to pick something and stick to it. Check it regularly. Maybe set a monthly reminder, which I actually have something like that with my wife. Every month we actually have a time block set aside to go over our finances, and it kind of ensures, we don't always keep it of course, but if and when we do see it, we try to keep it as often as possible. So gradually increase your percentage. Once you're comfortable with 1%, go to 2, go to 3. Small steps lead to big changes over time. Let's say you start with 1% of a $3,000 monthly budget. So saving $30 a month. After the first 3 months, increase that. Take that to 1.5. It's $45 a month. After 6 months, push it to 2%. This is how you find an edge in your finances, and you can actually start very small with something you're comfortable with, and then go from there. Some people believe that just because it's something so small, I'm not gonna make the change because it's insignificant. But again, small changes compound over time. There's an old saying, if you take a piece of paper and you fold it once, not a big deal. But if you take it and you fold it a certain number of times, I wanna say it's like 42, which is not that many, then you actually have a sheet of paper that takes you from the earth all the way up to the moon. Another hack is for you to look at not only monthly subscriptions, but quarterly, semi-annually, and annual stuff. So things like insurance, additional subscriptions, things you're paying for on a yearly basis, you can drastically reduce those costs too. So if your car insurance is $600 a year, I just went through this actually where I did my house insurance, flood insurance, car insurance, and I went from Geico to Allstate, and I was literally able to save like $1,400 per year. It's a lot of money. And I was able to save like $1,400 per year. But anyways, when the bill comes, you're prepared, and you might actually save money by paying annually certain things instead of just monthly. Remember, the goal here isn't to deprive yourself of everything. I don't believe in that ideology where you just stop drinking coffee. I don't believe in that. I believe in being intentional about every dollar that God has blessed you with. When we look at scripture, divisional provision should not be wasted. We see that when Jesus multiplied the fishes and the loaves, he then collected everything. They didn't throw that away. It wasn't just plainly wasted, he did something with them. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as the haste leads to poverty. These small diligent actions can actually lead to pretty significant financial blessings over time. Don't take them for granted. Now, if you're loving this content and want to dive deeper into biblical budgeting, I got something special for you. So I've created a comprehensive biblical budgeting guide that walks you through creating God-honoring budget, which is step by step. It's packed with practical tips, biblical wisdom, worksheets, of course, to help you take control of your finances. And if you want a free copy, just click the link in the description below. Remember, good stewardship isn't about drastic changing or depriving yourself. It's about making wise, intentional choices with the resources that God has given you. The 1% trick that I mentioned, perfect example of how small, consistent actions will lead to significant results. I want to wrap up and I want to tell you, start taking action with this today. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to do it is today. So don't wait. If you can find 1%, do it today and see what the Lord can do with a small seed that you plant. If you found this video helpful, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. A lot of you guys are not subscribed. I don't understand what's going on. I've asked this before. Let me know if there's something I can do, if there's a topic you want me to cover, and I'm happy to do better. But what we're trying to do here is grow a community of Christians, of believers that are looking to honor God with their finances through budgeting, planning, investing, and giving. Together, we're going to become better steward of our finances. God bless you guys. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.